All right, all we are getting started. So we have Stars Reach. This is an exciting time. So let's create character. Aircraft. Undershirt, shirt, recon, underwear, legs, tactical cargo. Shoes are on. I think we're good to go. Okay, actually gotta build this. So low health, advanced mode. I'm going more concentration, more serenity. And we will call that good. All right, so let me get this link shared for the YouTube. Share the link, copy. Right, where is All right, so let's go. Everything. Ooh, after now the interact, that's gonna may have to keybind that. All right, so let's try and get through Haven. Start out. Ooh. It's like a little trap right in front. Alright, kill some creatures. Let's see what else we have. Help. Okay, it ruins us. Let's do that first. Let's actually set that. Pathfinding is one of my least favorite things, so we can try and get that out of the way. Collect a total of 3, so that's still the same. Looks like there's definitely got some terraforming happening. Right. So that's 203. Or maybe that was 303. So quest with runes is done. So we can do Clint. Let's see where these are. Nations of 47 seconds. So we're going to continue on here and not go there yet. Stay on the road if you want things to go quicker. So let's see. Okay, harvester on. All the way point to harvest. Oh my goodness. Is that really going to be all the way up there? I guess we couldn't find out. That's a heck of a first quest to find the tallest thing and get you going. Yep, that's where it was. Alright. So let's see what else we have. Found the vegetation return. Okay. I don't know if I want to risk dropping down and timing my grapple perfectly, so we're going to take the long way down just to be safe. Remap that F to G to use to G. So I think we need to make them just nearby to make the mushroom skewers. So mushroom skewers, going to make those, add them, craft, and then we should be able to trade him one of those. Complete on that side. Okay, so let's just in time. All right, let's see if Crucible looks any different now. So Haven is definitely looking different. We did not have those arches on Haven prior, so that's definitely a lot of new stuff. And let's see how things are running on Haven. Or Crucible, I'm sorry. Mark the location, 57 meters away. Much easier than having to climb up a thing. Scan for it, because they wanted to do, I believe it was pyroxene. So we can see. Oh, you know what? I probably have some settings disabled that I can't see my mission totals. I'll have to check that in just a little bit while I'm waiting for the shuttle back. I'll check some of those settings. Complete. Yeah, so it's definitely very smooth on here. So I think. Ooh, wave. Oh, we got a common loot cache from that as well. 48 seconds, so just a little bit short of making it back perfectly timed. So let's check HUD. Okay. Show missions. Yep, that was off. Okay. Okay, much better. So it looks like we just have the new quest taking on the cornucopia, or the corruption, I should say. So we have 20 more seconds till we're back on Haven, and we can go kind of see our first look at what the corruption looks like. Hope everyone else is excited. And if you guys aren't able to get into game currently, hopefully you'll be able to get in later today. We're going to have a lot of fun today. We're going to see a lot of people, and we're going to try and start figuring out where we're going to be building our city. We're going to have a lot of people going to search the new planets to see what's available, and we're going to go from there. I'm going to try and one of the first things I'll be ending up doing is doing a lot of missions so that can level up the GovBot. So that's going to be one of the first things. So getting the Klaatu to get missions started is going to be a first step while people try and figure out which planet to end up going to. Looks like we have a little bit of a longer load time. Seems like there are quite a handful of people on currently. Alright, so let's... Alright, that's gonna be up towards the, ooh! Didn't even recognize we have an assault rifle to start with. No more pistol. So yeah, there's a little bit of slight lag on Haven, so definitely gonna try planning on getting off. I was kind of planning on doing some missions on here. Yikes. need some stamina. But we'll do missions out in the real world. And I'm going to need to grab a few plants because we don't know what the other plants will consist of. That feels a lot more responsive. Alright. So we saw some cornucopia on Haven now, so that's definitely a new quest that's available. Yeah, this is a lot of people. Alright. Time to head off. Oh, wait, let's see. Oh, this definitely changed. Yeah, we'll head off. Worst case, we can make another character and come back here if there's certain items that still need. Because I'm assuming there's going to be a fair amount of planets. Let's see. To save a planet. Oh, I need to actually read some of these now. There's... Alright. Some ominous music. Oh, some people from lore. Alright, let's grab some quests. Dealer's choice. Let's go number 3. 597. Okay, so chose 3. So let's go check over here. 3. 544. We'll do the 447. Then we're going to take that, and then we're going to re-roll those. Just so that we don't kind of waste a mission trip. 86, still a bit too low. Oops. One of these times we'll get a decent one. It's worth the time, in my opinion, to do this because the amount of travel you're going to be doing from mission to mission and back to the space station, it's worth maximizing the amount you're going to get from a pure efficiency standpoint. Okay, we'll call 387 good. So it's out that way. Looks like we do have a marketplace vendor on there, so people will be able to sell their goods on the space station. So I know that was something that people thought about, if they'd be able to sell anything. So it does look like there is a vendor on space that you'll be able to use. At least this space zone looks similar. Ooh, looks like they do have a global cooldown on switching weapons. So you won't be able to do the exact methods we were using where you would just keep hot swapping between tools. So that's going to be interesting. Get a little bit of experience while we're just kind of going. Wonder if we're not even in the same. I think I missed it. All right. Looks like we're going on to planet, I believe. Let's see what this kind of looks like. Ooh, ice. Oh, this one's gonna be fun. All right. Oh, this is probably a wild wormhole planet. Mission log. Did I not accept that other quest? Well, I guess we're doing 3. Wow, okay. This is going to be a lot of fun for the people who like exploring. Oh, ice is quicker travel, so actually this planet may not be too bad of a planet to do missions on, because you get to move a lot quicker. And just third time. Oh my goodness. So it is kind of very hilly, but we're kind of getting our first look at a floating island above us. We have an event boss here. No way going to be able to solo that right now, especially that boss. It spawns a lot of ads. Yeah, the worlds definitely feel much more alien than in the pre-alpha, so this is really fun to see. Alright, so looks like our dig quests. No, we're probably gonna run into the kill quest first. Right next to the boss. Come a little bit closer. Just out of range. Dodge roll is taking a little bit more stamina than it did in the past. Okay, so let's now take containment units down there and survey nodes over there. So safely it down. Easy containment unit. Don't even have to dig for that one. And then we're going to finish with this survey node over here. Getting close. Up there. That may not be in the mission zone, though. Yeah, looks like still another one. It is somewhere right around here. There we go. Not the one we need. Leaving the mission area. Signal weak. Okay, so that was the mission, so it just didn't catch it on the first time. So just keep that in mind when you're doing some of the missions. When it goes green, you can still click it to get the mission to count. So let's see, we're going to not walk another 700 meters, because that's going to take forever. So we're going to do a nice little trick, and we have the boss right over here to do it easily. And we're going to let it kill us and get us back to the portal. And in the meantime, we're going to see if that's, if anything happens to us. Stand, okay, back to the world station. We don't have anything on us. Well, I mean, a couple things. Loot cache, don't really care about that. I'd rather care about the time saving. So we get back to the portal, and then we can get back to the space station much quicker. Because if we would have walked, especially on that planet, having to climb up all of those hills, that would have just taken a lot of time to go through. So let's... because it's gonna just save us just a little bit of time. And so back to the space station, it can turn in those quests. So I think we're probably going to stay on that planet just because of how because of the ice. That's probably going to help us move a lot quicker. So let's go 3. Okay, those are all too low, so we're gonna just accept. Log. Abandon. Scatter hive isn't too bad, 586, and so let's try going a couple more for this one. Abandon. $446. Okay, so we'll call that good. So that's going to be about 2,000 clock too, from that mission run. So again, it's just trying to be as efficient as possible as we're going out here. This planet is not too far away, so it isn't too terrible. Like some of these other planets, you're probably looking at like 600 meters away. Again, the goal is to have fun, but this is just kind of showing you a more efficient route to kind of go, because we're definitely going to be trying to go for the GovBot, and see how much we can contribute and start getting that city started so that we can get zoning lots, and then from there go forward. Sorry, just saw the message. So server lag on Haven was a bit laggy, but out in space or on Crucible, it was perfectly fine. Haven't really noticed any hiccups from that point. But there were a silly amount of people on Haven. Easily, I think the most I've seen, personally. But yeah, so far, especially out in the real world, that's why I wanted to kind of get off Haven. Yikes, let's at least speed towards where we need to go. Okay, so I think one of the quests may not be working, or I'm doing something wrong. Maybe we can only accept 3 quests now. I'll have to pay a little bit more attention next time we head back to space. Let's get back onto the ice so we can get our travel as quick as possible. And off to the races. So because of slower movement speed, you're moving so much faster. Like, this is just insane how much faster. Definitely a little bit harder to maneuver a bit, but let's go kill quest first. Let's get off the ice for this fight. So dodge is an important thing to use. It's going to be your, whatever you have your crouch to, which it defaults to control. I have it set to my, on my mouse. I have a key bound to that just so that it's easier for me to click that, because dodging is very important, especially as you get into your harder type of fights. And I'm gonna just keep my Pathfinder out just for some potential free experience if end up running into a node that's on the way, like this one. because I'm not much of the Pathfinder, so if I can get some easy ones, I'll definitely take it. But also don't want to end up killing myself, because then spawn back at the beginning and then have to come back out here and do that. So safety is definitely important to keep in mind. Alright, we can hear the static. So as soon as you start hearing the static, you know you're closer to the node. Okay, this one's much easier than the last one. And so now we have challenging, yes. So this is going to be our terraformer quest. Alright. Oh, are we losing? Okay. No, jumping doesn't cost us stamina, thank goodness. Doesn't look like there's really any enemies around here, which is both good and bad, because it's going to take us a little bit longer to walk back, but at least we can cleanly get this, and this one's definitely going to require some digging. And you can kind of see, like, so this is basalt and clay. You can see things are sliding down. Thankfully, that wasn't too difficult to grab, but depending on the surface you're mining, it can be very difficult to grab some of those items, because everything's just going to keep falling down. So we may be making the trek back the portal slowly but surely, because I'm not going to go out of our way to find a creature to kill us to transport us quicker back. But if we happen across one of them, which we had those Carvixes that we passed along the way, but I don't remember exactly where they were. Ball hog over there. One is not going to be able to kill us quick enough, though. That amount of them will, though. Back to the world station. So this is also a GovBot, what that looks like. So we have those missions complete. Let's check some messages. Okay. And let's head back, which we still have the sky sharks out here. So just another reason this planet's nice, is we have some enemies right outside as well. So the one downside to using this method is you're going to be developing wounds, but all it will take for wounds is just to get a dance from someone eventually. So let's check out, so... Okay, so 436. Let's go check the other one real fast. 430, 436, 439. Okay. Missions. Okay, so because it seems like the mission's not necessarily working, we're just going to take that lower one and just see if it works. So we definitely have that. Oh, it looks like someone redeemed their Kickstarter stuff. Eventually, we'll get to that. Or the Cosmonaut pack, not the Kickstarter. Okay, so let's see. Are we doing not much XP, which we're not really going for that. 480 Ranger experience. Xenobiology. Maker scanning, that's eventually what we'll go into, so we can start revealing the makers. Yep. Oh, wow, a lot more in the collection side of things. Keep moving towards the planet. 500 technology, almost 100 medical, almost 300 cooking. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you're going to be able to collect in game. Alright. So back on planet to continue these missions. So usually, which actually can check, oh no, because have to become a citizen of this planet, which won't do yet until we end up finding a planet we'll end up enjoying. But usually the Klatus are around like 50,000. Okay, they're all that way. Like 50 to 80,000, so probably gonna try and grind out as much of the Klatus as possible, because Klatus are gonna be important for multiple different reasons. So, one, you have to skill up. Every skill takes Klatu. So if we take a look at your skills, every single one of these, so 600 Klatu, 300, 600. So Klatu are important for you to be able to start skilling up your character. It's also going to be important for if you want to start donating to a GovBot, so being able to form a government, be able to start to try and control a planet, which definitely recommend trying to join a group to do that, because it is quite a pain to try and do solo. It's definitely possible, but it will take a lot of time. With a group, I wouldn't be surprised if we, so GUNC, we're trying to find a planet and then start leveling up. I wouldn't be surprised if we're able to kind of get to the second level. Wow, that's a little bit high up. Some fun grappling and exploring. You can kind of see the verticality in some of these maps. Even though we've only been on this map, we're kind of exploring the different sides of it, which I definitely enjoy the exploring. I don't dislike the pathfinding, but I love the exploring side of things. But it's probably more so I'm just not as good at using the Pathfinder. So, what are we getting? Clay. Okay, so, not too bad. Okay, so we got that. So yeah, something may be up with the harvesting mission, or it could be something with this planet. Because that is still not showing up. So just kind of keep that in mind as you're doing it, because I'm assuming we will run into bugs. This is early access launch. I think that's kind of part of early access. That seems to be the only thing kind of run into so far. Haven was a little bit laggy because we had a lot of people on there. But other than that, gameplay on this planet's been pretty smooth. But I'm probably, yeah, the only one on this planet. Okay, so kill quest is that way, survey is that way. So you can see your wound. Yeah, you can see your wounds. They definitely color coded them a lot better. Pigs, new creatures haven't seen before. That would be nice. Once end up being able to get the maker scanner, can use the bio scanner, or no, we don't even need that. Just the bio scanner. You can go and scan those creatures, and you'll be able to add them to your collection. And you gain, I'm assuming it's a xenobiology experience. That's kind of what they talked about. Okay, survey. Alright. Not too bad for that one. And then last but not least, we'll have the kill quest, which the Sigil shouldn't be too bad. Despite it being, I believe this one was a purple, the Sigil, even though it's a purple and that's going to be the hardest, usually they aren't too bad, but we'll end up seeing where this one's located. Because it's right near some of those ball hogs, potentially, which will make it more difficult. Looks like it's on the other side of the mountain, or the arch. Gonna regain stamina. Thankfully right now that's not in game, that we won't be able to do this. Oh, and there it is. Yikes. Yeah, need to get off that ice. Okay, that's invulnerability, so let's grab that. So as long as that buff is on us, we'll be invulnerable and a bit of the high ground. Gonna lower this volume in a bit too. I think they were just ball hogs just right over this. Let's see, what did we lose? Yeah, nothing really important. So, get out. See. Let's meet our friends, the Sky Sharks, again. And actually attacking the Maker, now that I think about it, should gain all of their attention. So that's actually easier than trying to get each of their attentions. So we probably want to get a dance. Let's see if we can get a dance by actually dancing. There's probably going to be a lot of new players that don't realize dance heals wounds. But no harm to try. Complete, complete, complete. Yes, so you can see the wounds are getting healed. Alright, so all that dying didn't really mean much. So that's why that's kind of the methodology I kind of use. Let's go to this one because the quests are shared. So I don't want to kind of be refreshing and then kind of miss out. So just grab these. All of those were too low, so just abandon. $500. Let's see. Oh, that's going to be that one. That's potentially broken, so we'll end up seeing if that ends up still working. You know what? I'll keep those other ones for now. $5.99. We'll take that. About as high as you can get. 600 at least in pre-alpha was the highest you could get from them. Which, speaking of, let's open some of these loot caches, because supposedly, okay, 28 Klaatu, 98, 19, so you do get a little bit from that 47. So, on top of the Klaatu we're getting, because you get one of these common per mission complete, oh yeah, you can definitely gain a fair amount from that. So, just another reason the missions are going to kind of be 6. Sad. Alright. Yeah, the smoothness is a lot better than last week. They definitely put in the time, it feels, for this. I will say Haven was a little bit laggy, but there were a silly amount of people on Haven. Like, I'll have to go back and look and just kind of watch through that, because like you entered the room and there were just, I don't know, 40, 50 people at least. It felt like. So, yeah, Haven was a bit laggy, but so far, like, out here, haven't had any issues. Oh, did the wormhole disappear? Yes. Alright. Yeah, that was its location. So, so we were dealing with a wormhole. That's good to know. So your wild wormholes are going to disappear. They're only up for a certain period of time, and that looks like what happened there. Mission expired, mission expired, mission expired. Yep, okay, so it's just bad luck. Expired after we get it, because hypothetically, that planet should no longer be in the mission terminal at that point. Which I wonder if we can only do missions on wild wormhole planets now. Because you can definitely see, like, I'm assuming that's going to be a planet just like it was in the past, in the more cubes. I get a little bit of hitching, but not too bad. Let's see. Alright, I guess we're going to be taking a look at another planet. 512, 500, 579, and 44. Oh, we're not taking a Hypermaw one. So that's probably the only creature I won't do a kill quest for. Just because of how strong they are. Heal quest. You know what? Let's see how expensive the basic tools are. 2,000 harvester. So no trowel. I was wondering if they were going to do that. How many clock tooths do we have? Nah. Was thinking about getting a helix, but we'll just kind of save up for now. I'd rather kind of put that towards the GovBot. Rather than that, we'll take the dangerous brute hog. All right, we'll see if the harvest quests were just that planet or if it's going to be this one as well. Seems like they did a lot of work on 40 people on. Yeah. It was a lot worse earlier. There's probably 40 people just next to Mayor Bob. Like it was insane. Normally, my plan going in was to stay on Haven a bit longer, but just with the amount of people that were there and kind of the lag, I was like, let's just get off Haven and go from there. So looks like this should be a planet. So this is actually probably we took advantage of the wild wormhole with the ice planet that allowed us to travel a lot quicker. But now we're gonna kind of go check out this new planet. That should be a stable planet. All right. All 4 quests. So it may have just been, maybe it's a wild wormhole issue. Let's see what we have. Let's see, how many people do we have on planet? 18 players on planet. Yikes, that's a lot. Compared to what we would normally see. So, ooh, floating island. I don't know what some of our explorers are going to look for, but I'm pretty sure it's going to end up being a floating island planet would be my guess, just because that's kind of new to us. We haven't really seen, I don't think we've seen any floating islands in the during the pre-alpha time. And if you were here watching while we were on the ice planet earlier, this is a lot slower traversal than when we were sliding on the ice going from mission to mission. So, finding a good planet and kind of using it until it's done from that perspective is interesting. Is good. Yes, being able to see them, and you basically just have to click each one. So after you turn them in, it's going to disappear, and you have to kind of redo it, but I should probably be harvesting. I'm a bad botanist, because I will be building a farm, so I really should be trying to get as much botany experience as possible. Oh, there's the goats. I think Raph-teased goats were going to be in the game. So we can kind of... So the reason... Oh, wow. Plus 30. I may be misremembering, but that's a... I feel like that's a lot higher than it was prior. So with each new plant discovery, you're going to get that 30 skill experience. So it's just a good idea from a botany standpoint to try and scan and grab as many as you have. We have tigers. Need to try not to die. I need to keep a little bit more of an eye on my grapple. That's going to get me killed if I'm not paying attention to that. Need to clear out. So let's see what we have. Oh, we have sandy dirt. So let's hope we can get to it quick enough, because the sandy dirt should be harder to go through. Okay, collect that. So it's continuously sliding. It's not too bad, actually. Crocodile over there. So after each one, you just kind of have to click each one to make them active, and then you can then go from there. Oster does make the best farms. Alright. Up we go. Need to make sure I have stamina also. But if you guys haven't been on Haven, I think you'll enjoy it. It definitely looks different. And definitely from the two, well, including Haven, because had to traverse a fair amount on Haven to get one of our quests completed. You definitely have more verticality. You have definitely more exploration potential in the game. Taking the more barren route, so no more plant discovery. Horde Master just spawned. Those will actually be likely really good for people to go after, but you... Oh, wow. That's quite a drop-off. Can't tell if that's flat or not, so we're going to... Oh my goodness, that is deep. Whoa. Okay. So, a good thing to remember to be able to do that stuff is, so if you look at the cursor, it's 90 degrees, 0 degrees up, down. When you're within range, it will turn to 45. So, good, bad, or good, bad, good. So just keep that in mind when you're doing stuff. That's how, for the most part, I'm landing my grapples. That's what I'm paying attention to. Else you will probably, because each time you miss your grapple, you're losing stamina. So, or battery, I should say. So you just have to kind of keep that in mind. Just like that one. Okay. We're gonna avoid the goats. Missed it by that much. Okay. Assault rifle out. No, I should redeem it just for that purpose. Because would have the grav mesh with that cosmonaut package. I guess we'll just go grab mesh free for now. You want to be careful with those brute hogs. That AoE, you don't want to be anywhere near it when it's hitting you. Bomb. Alright, so turn in. Alright, let's have the bouncy bunny kill us. He should, at orange, should be able to take us out. Because how far are we away? Yeah, 800. meters from the portal. Let's not walk back 800 meters. Hello, all new people. So again, quick method for kind of getting back to the portal. Let's see. Gotta try and keep an eye on some of these Discord messages. Alright, does this portal have any makers right outside that can kill me? If that's a person. Little bit of mining experience. Though have no... Oh, it's a soft grouping. Anytime you're around other people who are doing the same activity you're doing, same active activity you're doing, you can get experience for that. Yeah, 400 meters is not a bad trek. Okay. Yeah, you can feel the hitching a little bit. Which I'm assuming, of course, not going to be able to see my FPS through that. So let's turn these in. 500, 500, 449. Let's go check this planet for 556. So if you're looking for them, you can very much get those 500 plus Klaatu missions. Oh, I need to be in general. Dangerous creature, boss spawn. Okay, so collections gotten a lot crazier if you missed earlier. So 350 clothing items, almost 300 cooking, almost 100 medical, and 500, over 500 technology. Landing zones, public event. Make sure we don't miss our location. How much Klaatu's? 8,000. Not too bad. Alright. Probably need to actually take a look at one of the other planets. We'll see how this mission run goes. I didn't like that huge verticality, even though we made it across that. That's just one of those danger zones that I don't know if I want to risk. Because dying while doing missions, that will kill your efficiency. And just kind of the way I play. Oh, let's grab that plant. So these alien mushrooms are definitely ones that we'll want to end up grabbing some for. I want to at least get a... Looks like we got a seed. So at least get one of them. So that we can end up planting that. And that we haven't discovered. Verdant cone. Haven't discovered. Maybe we have. If I did a little bit more mining, I would probably grab the helix so that I could do 5 missions at once. But the big thing for that is then you would need camps, because you can only switch your loadout inside of a camp. So it adds, you'll gain that extra 600, but you would have to go and spend all the time mining to make the kits, the camp kits. You're gonna have to skill in, I believe. Oh no, you may be able to, you should be able to actually make them without skilling. But it's still going to be one of those things. Whew, this is far away. It's still going to take time. I haven't seen any Dark Wizards yet. I did not stay on Haven. I basically said, well, we're probably going to have a lot of planets. One of those planets has got to have them. Because I just didn't want to stay on Haven too long. Because I didn't want lag or to be kicked or something like that. So I just played it safe. I was like, well, if need to, can make another character and go back on there. Because Haven did look different. So, I don't know if the Dark Wizard spawns were in the same spot. So I wasn't going to waste time. Okay, let's not slide down. That's out of range. That looks like quite a cave in there. Like that cache is sticking out. Kind of getting used to using F for interact. You can definitely build houses. Oh, hello. You're just going to need to skill up. Well, actually, I think they removed that option. So you should only need money to build a house. So you basically would go in the space station, buy a homesteader object, which when we head back there, I'll check the price of it. But then that's how you start building. You need that to start your building. You place that homesteader object, and then from there you need a fabricator or an instaformer, which those are tools. And that will allow you to actually place either Minecraft-like blocks, or you can place actual, like, wall pieces. Okay, geez, yeah. Definitely has some verticality. So, slowly but surely. That was a total miss. That guy's moving a little bit faster than the other ones. So you can shoot while you're grappling. Alright, so that one's done. Challenging. Where are we? 700. Let's go this way. This is going to be a pain to get out of. Especially, so it seemed like you may be slightly off on that working. I don't know if this will land or not, or if it's just going to hit us. Nope. Slowly but surely getting out of this cavern. Okay, we can crawl the rest, climb the rest of the way. So you can kind of see once they start getting more of the ranger skills in, how it's going to be a lot more helpful to get around when you can start moving faster, climbing faster. Maybe they'll have things that help with like your grapple or stuff of that nature. Let's pull out the Pathfinder. Need to keep an eye on the stamina so don't get caught in a bad situation like that. That was a close one that we're not out of yet. Yikes. Not too bad. Okay. And last one, which is going to be all the way that way. Hello, invulnerability. Alright, let's try and make the trek over there. So as much as I use stamina, even though that's my middle stat that I put into, I do prefer the focus because that's more, in my opinion, later game, because you can benefit from all the abilities you're using. So I do prefer that, but it does stink early game, running out of that stamina more. But long term, I think I prefer having more focus for ability usage. So going down a hill, you can see I'm moving faster, so using your terrain to your advantage. I really love the sound effects from the guns now. Let's see what we have. Looks like someone put a camp down over there. How far are we? We're actually not too far. Floating island. Probably not too difficult to reach if you had a grav mesh. Oh, that goat just fell from somewhere. Or he probably spawned from a maker, actually. So that's done. So I think we're complete. We're around some Carvixes. I'm going to lose all those things I harvested, but if these are gonna be able to kill me. The white ones are not as strong, and they're not. Yeah, that's gonna be a waste of time. I'm less worried. Like, there's certain plans that I'd be like, okay, if I found a Dark Wizard or I found a Basin Scrub, I would not want to die because I want to have those seeds. But most of these other plans, it's more so for the botany discovery experience. Let's do. Yeah, so auto run and. See what my skills are at. So botany 492, so not too bad right now. So if you're curious on auto run, it's the tilde button as well, so that way you can still be moving while like you're looking at the menu or something like that. But just be careful because you never know, you could end up walking off a cliff. So just keep that in mind as you're using it. Not going to hurt picking up some of those branches because wood's going to be needed. And honestly, I don't know when we'll find Basin Scrubs. They should be on Crucible, so people are probably grabbing them, but it's not going to hurt having some of these because they are one-time spawns. They may spawn back, but I don't recall them doing it. So unless they change something, now we are definitely not going to kill ourselves just to get back to the portal quicker. We're actually going to grab this wood because this is going to be potentially beneficial for us. Or potentially giving to a crafter to be able to craft us like a trowel or something of that nature so that we can start creating our farms and that, because at least in the pre-alpha, creating farms was one of the quickest ways to help get the GovBot up. There's definitely a lot of wood all around here. Alright. I think that's roughly good enough. What soil is this? Sandy dirt. Funnels. It's a lot of fruit, so that's gonna help the cooks and stuff of that nature. Hello, 50 over there. And let's head off. Gonna see in our GUNC Discord to see if anyone's kind of settled on any planets that they're enjoying. LDP is in the main Discord streaming. We have in space 51. Hello, Cygnus. Alright, complete those. Yeah, why not? Let's try this planet. Harvest 460, 567. Which planet did I choose? 508. 492 for a harvest. Harvest. No, we're good. Okay. Oops. Little bit worried about the red one. Which creature was that, by the way? Deadly Atheric. Shouldn't be too bad. Where is the portal? Well, hopefully this planet is not too bad, because that's probably going to be the closest planet to the space station. Alright, new planet. Let's see what the look is. Blue veils. Love it. Oh, dark wizards. Found them. Well, know which planet the dark wizards are on. So let's find a few. Oh yeah, there's plenty of them. So these alien plants, these purple ones, are the dark wizards. And at least pre-alpha, they were the strongest plant, because of just all the different drops they can do. You could basically make metal from them. They had gemstone drops from the salt. So gonna definitely stock up on those. Can get some gas from these blue veils. And because we may end up doing our little dying trick as soon as... Grab some of these as well. That didn't get us any seeds. That didn't either. The blushing bonnets are not dropping any of their seeds. But one thing to keep in mind is to keep things safe so that they don't drop when you die on your body, is you need to make sure to go into some type of safe zone. So if you see, I'm getting the group bonus right now, because we have other people in here that are harvesting as well. Okay, that should be plenty. In reality, we will still make a farm, but this planet, I mean, you could go through that tree. So state of personal belongings saved. So now all that is saved. So now we can go forward and do the missions. All right. A 3 cluster is really nice to see. Let's see how we get out of here. Rest and let our stamina regen. Wow. Holy crap. That screenshot is a lot of blue veils. Wow. That's a lot. So if you need gas, which planet am I on? On Letimopus 2, you're definitely going to have your pick of lots of gas. Alright. Ooh. Floating island. Or, I guess not technically a full floating island. More like a peninsula floating island, if it's a thing. Still being connected. Yeah, like, that's... I haven't seen that many trees since we were on Ascarion. So many months ago. Or more than a year ago, actually. Which they put, like... The LOD system looks to be working, so you can still... Their draw distance seems to be far out. Yeah. What a view. Those floating islands all over there. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna do quests on this place. This is a little bit too mountainous from a traversal standpoint. Which means just need to be even that much more careful. Don't die over here, especially for just a single quest, because if die and have to come back here, I probably will just abandon it. A boar, which I think we have, and oh yikes. Okay, let's just fog creatures. That's an example of fog. Being careful where you're going so you don't just walk right down a cliff. Yeah, I'm actually surprised they didn't cause a lag either. Didn't feel anything on my side, so it did look like it had some of the Z sorting issue or Z binding issue, slightly. But from a lag standpoint, it wasn't affecting lag at all, which is kind of nuts. Because, I mean, there has to be hundreds of trees over there. I mean, they literally blanketed that entire area. Let's deposit that depositor. Alright, off to this group of 3. Yikes. That's not a smart thing to do. A lot more caverns. These planets, I'm pretty sure the explorers are going to be loving this. So much to kind of explore. Or potentially kill yourself trying to maneuver around the planet. Yikes. No grapple. Thank goodness that was not a far drop. So we got the floating mountain up here. You know, let's just... Come on, it's gonna be just out of range, isn't it? Come on. We are on a floating island. Now we're going to get off of it. Yeah. And people thought we needed to have more than 1 wood per tree. You would be perfectly fine getting 1 wood per tree on those trees. But it's going, I mean, you're going to be able to, in all seriousness, like, you're going to be able to get a silly amount of wood from those trees. With them increasing it to 3 to 6 wood per tree, I don't think people are going to be hurting for wood. Alright. So, oh, this is going to be the one that floats. It looks like he's lower health. Let's try and get him before he fully regenerates his health. Yeah, let's also not aggro the other creatures. Which looks like we did. I want to try and stay off of uneven ground, because if I need to dodge, it can be harder to start your dodge when you're not on. Yes. Because also the thing with that creature is, with him being red, it's very possible that one of his attacks will kill me. if any of them land. So, not too bad for a red, but again, you let him hit you, and likely you're going to die. So, just kind of have to be more careful around the stronger creature. So, it's just like in other MMOs. The color scheme, white is easy, yellow a little bit more difficult. Once you start getting to orange, you either need combat experience or a small group. Then you get to red, which again, combat experience or a bigger group. And then you have your purples, which they definitely recommend a group, or you really need to know what you're doing in combat. All of them definitely can be soloed. You can even solo the bosses, but it's just going to take too long for what it's worth. They could drop a lot better stuff. We'll have to kind of pay attention to that. But for right now, Klaatu, in my mind, is more important. So let's see. That's going to be 800. So let us find some of those things that were trying to kill us just a second ago. Love running into a node for free. It's like when you need to find a creature, there's no creatures around. And when you don't want to find a creature, they are always around. Haven't checked the GovBot, waiting to see what people end up deciding they want for the planet. But I am curious to see how those kind of look. And through the trees, so we may be making that trek all the way back. Well, if we're going to make our way back, I guess let's pull out our harvester and let's grab some plants along the way. So also, if you're curious, you can be in first person doing all of this. So it's just up to your preference. Definitely for a more cinematic feel, I do like first person. Let's see. And I would, oh yikes. I would also hide the GUI as well, or the HUD. Yeah, this is definitely a dense forest. Actually, the harvester battery, I think, is improved, because this is a base harvester. And I mean, seems to be able to harvest things fairly quickly. Granted, you have the global cooldown now, so that's going to cause a little bit more difficult for like your hardcore farmers. It shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, you can see some of the Z fighting. All the dark wizards are harvested next to the portal. I'm shocked. Gripweed. And nothing from it. Alright. You can definitely do still 3 harvesters. It's just if you look, you get that little global. It's still like it will slightly uh it will slightly slow you down. I got you, Tofter. I figured. um woo, a little bit of lag, so let's see how many are we up to. So hitting 66. Still not a always lag, but you can definitely feel more people. Alright, so turning in those. We are just on 2, did 3. So you know what, let's check out 4. I don't know if I like any of those quests. So let's go back to 1. Yeah, definitely take that more. 3 500 plus ones right off the bat. We'll go back to that other planet. 591, thank you. Okay. I think there was some, oh yeah, Homestead. That's what I wanted to check. A little bit of a lag. 20,000 Klaatu. That is going to take some people some time to get. So, if you do want to be building, Klaatu is also going to be important for being able to kind of build and go forward for that. So 20,000 Klaatu is what it's going to take. So we are currently at 12,000, and we've been going since it started, which is it. Oh. Looks like just got booted. Let's go check the Discord and see if anyone else is talking about. This may require us to fully quit out. Let's see. Let's quit out real quick and come back in. Because light, oh fudge. Literally just stopped it as soon as it was getting us back in. The chances. All right. So while we're waiting on getting back in, let's try and see some of the Discord messages. So I think it's been live for almost 2 hours. So in the 2 hours we had Haven. We are probably in Haven for 15 to 20 minutes. After that, we've just been pretty much running missions after that. So 12,000 isn't too bad in probably an hour and a half, an hour 15 minutes. Um, so let's see. The loads, usually when you're on this loading screen, it's probably going to take you about 2 to 3 minutes to get in. So just keep that in mind, that it's not unusual to have that long of load times trying to get in. If it starts taking like 5 to 10 minutes, you may be stuck in something. And it also could be like slower internet connections may take more time. And stuff of that nature as well. So just keep that in mind as you're kind of doing some of the things. Right. All right. Loading back. So yeah, there are definitely lots of people in space. So the more that can, the more that can. Do we still have the missions? Yep. I think more can stay on planet, the better. Just because space is gonna have so many people in it. Not too bad on the caches also. Could be more. But you do get one of those from each mission. And we've already, it seems like from those common ones, we've seen everything from 5 to like, I think 98 Klaatu from them. So it just adds that little bit of extra to kind of help you out. Fun lore bits, if you're interested in them. We just did a video kind of going over all of those lore bits, which there were quite a handful of them. And we'll just have to kind of keep an eye on if any new ones start popping up now that we're into EA. So that's probably where the drop-off is, if I remember correctly. So how do you get that stuff? I wonder. Receive. Refresh. I'm wondering where you get that. Does it just get added to your... Yes. Okay. So this is the time we can put the camp kit down. So let's get that grab mesh equipped. And then space suit. Alright. Shoes are a little off. Alright, not too bad. Just a little safety nets. I'm gonna try not to use it too often. Some of these kill quests. Yep. Got him a little bit stuck on the side of the area, but as you saw, basically one of those shots nearly killed me. So that was almost not smart. And the grav mesh likely saved us, so... Invasion from space. So that's kind of an event that can happen, and you'll have space aliens falling from the sky that in the past they've dropped fairly good items for like creating weapons and stuff of that nature. Yikes. So the nice thing is this should be a little bit easier to traverse with the grav mesh. But as we showed earlier, like you can still 100% get across that without a grav mesh. You do not need a grav mesh to do that. You just have to be a little bit more careful. And then we just have our harvest mission left. clouds or fog are very interesting. This definitely has the multiple floating island type feel to it that you could literally chain across the island, which would be very interesting. Just me personally, I don't really enjoy the sand we're on. But desert planets still have their appeal. Look to them. So one thing also want to keep in mind with like the grav mesh is don't want to just use it for no reason, because you will lose durability with it. So, and then eventually as things become, you lose durability, you have to repair them, and then they can eventually break. So let's see if these Karvix can kill me so we can get back to the portal. Actually, their big attack. Thank you. Cool spacesuit. Now that we're in that. How many people? 42. So yeah, space is staying pretty busy. But I do wonder if we have some more of that. So each of those is going to give me... Oh, which planet were we just on? I think it was 3. Yes, yes, yes. Wow. Oh, someone probably grabbed that. Right. Yep. So that's an example of showing that they are shared. And so someone else would have saw that, and they did grab that quicker than I did. So let's just take that one, refresh that. Oh wait, this one is the one that I don't think it's there anymore now that I think about it. So, sad day having to abandon those. I think. Now I'm not quite sure which planet we were just on. So we're gonna just take these 400 ones, 500. So we're on 2, which is, okay, that's the one that is the close one, but it's, let's do that. Okay, so we're at 14,000. So we're going about it efficiently as possible. For the most part, grabbing Klaatu in alpha. usually found that would gain Klatus at 2 to 3 times, like you're just average player. So you could probably expect we're going to be hitting the 2-hour mark. So it's probably going to take a player a good 6 to 8 hours probably to get enough Klaatu to be able to do their first homestead, which a homestead is a big step. So that's not something that it's like, I should be able to do a homestead within the first hour. No, that's going to be something you're going to need to build up and get into. It's not going to be something that's easy. So for something like that, 6 to 8 hours is probably not too bad. And looks like we're only doing 3, but at least those 3 are right next to each other. So in reality, it actually may save us time. So also keep in mind your grav mesh is not like a I'm going to fly around the map type thing. It is much more a just try to get you over a hump or something of that nature type thing. Yeah, that is a thick forest. So that's an example that basically used almost all my grav mesh. So you can still have some verticality to it. My favorite thing with the grav mesh is using it from a combat standpoint, being able to get just a little bit extra height when you have the upper ground and stuff of that nature. Oh my goodness, that's going to be up on that floating island. So I guess we'll see how well the grav mesh will work. Yikes, yeah, I think that's going to be too tall. That may not be something we're going to be able to do, and that may just have to be a throwaway abandoned quest. We'll definitely try and do that on our way back. Maybe, oh, there's a hill up there. Oh, yikes. Let's not die. Alright, so this is an example of the mission 1 is something we've already surveyed, so all you have to do is come over and hit the green one that you already surveyed. Just try and get away from these other creatures. Aggravate everything in our way. But this looks like an orange ball hive, so shouldn't be too bad from an attack standpoint. If you do successfully dodge, you'll see those white letters come up that you just saw. You get about a 0.75 iframe, so you're invulnerable during that time frame. Let's see. So it's up there. I think we saw a connecting one over here that we could probably hop to. Yeah, so I think if we get on top of this mountain, we may be able to do it. May. Okay, no, it's definitely close enough. So it's so I think this would be fully possible with a grapple also. So let's try it. So up. So on the first floating island, now the second one, oh man, there's a lot of fog. Okay, let's try and get a little, okay, so it's right there. All right, so let's, okay. So there very well may be a place, but you can see how the fog plays into things. You can't necessarily see where you're going, so that was just going to be the safe route and use the graph mesh to get to that point. But it's good to know, like, we've seen arches. You have to climb all the way to the top of an arch, which that just takes time because you can reach the arch from the ground. But that's just something to keep in mind, that these missions can appear anywhere on the map. Alright, so that's done. 600 meters. So the nice thing is we don't need a creature to kill us for this one. That should be a far enough fall. Alright, so now we can head back to the space station. Alright, so that should put us, that was only 3 quests. So I need to check what planet we're just on. These were, not going to know. This is 2. Okay, so let's not do 2 again. Oh, looks like there are alien puzzles in the game. Someone on our Discord just found one. Epic loot crate. Okay, we're gonna have to kind of keep an eye out for that. So it looks like a wild wormhole's over that way. So if the missions go towards that side, we probably don't want to grab them. Turn in. So let's try 1. Alright, 4 of them that are 500s. So that's a hypermoth. Don't want to take that one. So again, the hypermoths are one of the few quests that I won't do, just because they're more trouble, so are the Karviks, than they're worth. But also, we're not going to do 101 either. Alright. 329. 9's getting closer, but really want to try and at least get something in the 400s. Close enough. All right. Let's see. How much? Okay, so 16,000 Klotzies right now. Let's see, what are some of these other recipes? I think some of these opened from some of the loot crates. I don't think we have anything fancy though, because we really haven't done anything that could potentially. I mean, I guess we could randomly get a harvest that gives us a better loot crate. Right. Yeah, so it looks like we're just losing one of the missions. I think this was nope. This is a different planet. A little less efficient with being able to only have the 3, but we'll make do with it. So the jackalopes are usually, yeah, you just have to kill the first form of it, which is usually a lot easier, and you have the quest complete. So one thing to keep in mind, so something that I've always found is taking the higher level Klatu missions is still more efficient, but the higher level Klatu missions are further away from the portal. Having ones that are slightly less, it will be closer to the portal. But when you factor in travel time, from at least my testing, you will make more Klatu taking the higher ones if you can fight these stronger creatures. There's a survey point. That should be it. Acid rain happening over there. So, benefit of a grab mesh. Easier for doing that. Okay, so 16. So let's try and go to another planet. I don't know if we've been to 4 yet. These are not too bad of ones. Where is 4? Okay, so it's gonna be the wild wormhole. We're gonna go check it out. See what's there. Maybe we'll run into 400. That's good enough. See if we find an interesting world. Because our first wild wormhole, that ice planet, was very efficient for going on the mission because we were just sliding across the entire planet instead of the slow walk. So that was actually a lot of fun. I did not foresee a planet like that. So 4. Looks like we've already 4 population on this planet. Oh, this is. Oh, this is a. Wait a second. This is a wild wormhole, isn't it? I guess we'll find out. Alright, perfect. They're all kind of right next to each other. So one thing, so if this is a wild wormhole, might as well get some of these discovered. Let's try and get up there. So again, each time you're discovering, you're getting that 30 experience, which is just helping your botany experience. So the more you can do that, it's just going to help you level up quicker. Oh boy, looks like we have another mountain quest or island quest. This is actually not too bad of a planet. Has a nice look to it. But with the spiral entrance, it does make me think that this is absolutely a wild wormhole planet. Unless they've kind of changed it, or there's some type of bug or something like that. Because everything in the pre-alpha, when they had the wild wormholes, they all had that spiral look and not the, That is a lot of cats that we do not want to aggro. Regain some of our stamina. Missed that grapple. Let's try and get closer to that kill quest. This is a very mountainous. Sheep. Sleeta down there. Probably need to try and go get a dance after this. challenging, moderate. Okay, so it's just gonna be over this hill. Should be that one and the Pathfinder. They're both the Harvest and Pathfinder. So at least we're getting the 4 missions on this planet, so we'll probably try this again on this planet, even though it's a lot harder to traverse this planet. It'll really depend where this survey node is. Okay, that shouldn't be too bad. I thought it was going to be up on a hill, which those are a pain. Okay, and then our last one is up on that. Probably from that mountain we could reach it. The one nice thing with the grav mesh is it's a little bit safer when you're falling those distances, because you can just hit your grav mesh right before hitting where you're grapple. You have to kind of time it right, so you don't splat. Alright, I do think we will be able to reach that island, it looks like. Walking the tightrope, though. Chose the wrong mountain. Yeah, let's do the safe one. Let's just go over there. As much as I want to kind of dare and try to jump over that and see if we would, not worth dying. Considering that this one is literally touching. Okay, so let's do our terraformer. Just do it from range for a little bit, so that we can try and get that to be shown. Yep, there it is right there. Station. Okay. I don't think I see it. I mean, I don't think we've been over there. There's definitely a little bit of lag in space. So yeah, 60 players. Someone's dancing. We definitely need to heal our wounds, so let's try and join that dance party. Gotta be a dance somewhere. There we go. So a single dance that you do will heal someone 25% of their wounds. So we think. And let's continue on. Let's see. I think we are just on 4. 2, 3. You know, let's just do 4 again. 5's 96. Dangerous Bane Deer should be fine. Okay, so 4 we're on. 588 and 506. Definitely will take that. Back to the same planet. Trying to discuss with people on where we're going to end up. It's looking like there's 3 planets and a wild wormhole, from what I've seen thus far. Which I think the Blue Veil planet is probably the one that's looking the nicest out of the stable planets. Probably need to go check that yellow portal after this to kind of see if there's anything, what's over there, because I don't know if we've had a mission take us there. Well, this is kind of a spread out one. Not ideal. We had 19,000. We've already scanned most of these plants. Well, I can actually check. How are we doing on the collection? Flora, 15, so about half of them we've scanned. Don't think I've seen a basic scrub yet, which those are usually our good source of wood, though the trees now give a lot more wood, so it shouldn't be too bad for trying to get wood now, whereas before you pretty much needed to have a basin farm scrub to be able to move forward with farming a lot of the wood. But now you should just need a xylo slicer and you should be good going after the trees, because they're supposed to drop 3 to 6 wood per tree. Well, he is right on top of where we need to be. He's moved. Gotta just try going real quick. Yikes. Gonna move. So depending on the creatures, sometimes it's just going to be easier to kill them rather than try and do what I just did there. But for the most part, you can probably get away with it for a creature that's not super strong, which I think that was a yellow. Just see real quick. So harvest mission, and what do we have? Kill quest. So we'll probably do the kill quest first. Reindeer. So close to being able to stay on high ground. Okay, yep, we can. So yeah, it's gonna have AoE, so as long as we maintain distance, we should be good. Okay, and now over to the botany. And then our last one, which is over survey node. 700 meters away. Going to be a bit of a trek for this one. Looks like it disconnects. Alright, we'll let that server boot back up. So last time this happened, we're going to wait a little bit longer because quit out right as it was loading us in. So we're going to kind of give it a little bit more time so that we don't have to log all the way back out and log back in. All right. All right, looks like it was a slight little rollback. by about like probably like 10-15 seconds. So let's just go pick up that harvest quest again. Oh, and the kill quest. So let's repeat the same strategy. So the Bane Deers, most of the Bane Deers just have AoE attack. So we can get away with this. But as you've seen, like some of the flying creatures, you really can't get away with that. So use your terrain as you can when you can. So overall, really not too many issues. Oh, yikes. We had a little bit of a laggy Haven experience. But we were only on Haven for 10 minutes, maybe 15 at the most. We've had 2 disconnects, but outside of that, really haven't run any issues, which kind of surprised for the EA side of things. Because usually you get into some of these EA launches and you can see some issues. Granted, just maybe getting lucky and not running into some of them right now, but there's really not much lag. Frame rates have been not noticeable. I capped mine personally at 60 and haven't had any issues. Haven't felt like I dropped any frames yet. Let's get away from those sky sharks. Let's not drop down. Yep. I think it's on this side. Yep. Okay. $640 meters. Let's just get to one of the top of these and get back to the portal. Don't think I had anything on me. Grav mesh recharge. Ooh, a lot of people at the portal. Looks like portal is closed, so wild wormhole is gone. So, someone is saying that there are 6 planets. One of our guild members win. I'm trying to see where that is, because I have not seen 6 planets, but I don't think we've gone to that yellow portal. That may be our next step. So 4, 1, 2, 2, 3. So maybe that's 1. Nope, 1 is out there. Well, you know what, let's just do 1, because that's a rack. Alright, I'm gonna do some of the abandoning. Harvest. What would be the other harvest one? Harvest, 552. Yes, we're going to get rid of that. And quickly grab that. Perfect. Was gonna call it good after the 362 one, but glad to double checked. Flight deck. Let's see. Yes. Yes. There has to be another space zone, because people are talking about planet names that have not seen. Let's see. Okay, so that planet may just be down. So, you know what? We are going to go check out that yellow portal. Okay, there are 2 portals that way. Alright, so there is another space zone. So let's abandon these quests. And go check out guessing one of those is going to be the worm gate to the Kofatog system. This is actually probably going to be the planet, but we will just look to be certain. Because we should be able to see the name on the portal. Nope, this is that system, so we have not gone to... Alright, so going to quit out and see if coming back in is going to solve that issue. But hearing that one of the planets on this system has a nice, has a lot of nice islands. Just for the information, the load screens usually take about 2 to 3 minutes to load in. All right. Let's see how it's working right now. All right, well, we will probably just take a break at this point then, and then we'll hop back in a little bit. Um, and I'll post, or let's see. No, it usually takes about 5 to 10 minutes when you get that air, so we'll kind of hop back in a few hours. I'll definitely make sure to keep post on Discord, and thank you guys for watching right now, and we'll get back to it a bit later.